Okay, hi group. I wanted to talk to you about swing playing and the dynamics between the driver and the iron swing. See, on an iron swing, your arc on your swing is here. Let me get my demonstration. Your arc on your swing is very neutral, right? It's very neutral like this. So when it bottoms out, it bottoms out just maybe a little bit ahead. So you're kind of swinging down into the ground and hitting the ground ahead. So it's very more upright. It's very level to the ground, maybe a little bit lower to the ground. And it's on plane with parallel with your body, and the path everything is parallel to the ground. But the problem is if you swing like that with a driver and you play the ball forward, you're going to have a tendency, if you play the ball same swing, you have a tendency, you play the ball forward, your actual swing arc is going to be over here. But in most cases, you're pretty much bringing all the power of your swing to about right here and ending right here. So if you did that, and that's when your right elbow starts to straighten out, and then the club face starts closing before it hits contact. But the problem is, if you do that, if you use the same swing and the same arc with a driver, and you do that, and your ball is much more forward, you use the same swing dynamics, and you start closing the club face over here right before impact. Well, it's going to keep rotating, and it's going to keep rotating, and then the club face is going to be closed. Your shoulders is going to be more open, and then your path is going to be way left. So it's either a disaster to keep your face open so it slices, or you're going to duck hook it to the left. So what you have to change are two things. You have to change the direction of the swing, and it's going to be more. See, when you tilt, you know how we always tell you to tilt on a driver? So here's your iron base, but on a driver, you tilt like this. Well, not only do you tilt right, you also have to tilt back a little bit, because you want your plane not to be just swinging up, but you also want to be swinging on the inside and up. So when you tilt, you're going to tilt like this, but you're also going to tilt inwards like this, kind of have a preset tilting inwards, because you're going to be swinging on an inside path. That is if you want to hit a draw. This is for guys that want to hit draw and hit up on the ball. So the way the swing plane is going to look, it's not going to look like this anymore. So first, it's going to be back a little bit and tilted a little bit. So even though it's in the same ball position, so it's normally here. Say normally your swing is going to be here, but when you tilt back, it's going to be like this, and it's going to be like this. So it's going to, the ball is going to be on a different part of the arc. When you tilt, it's going to be here, right tilt, and then when you do when you adjust your right shoulder back, it's going to be like that kind of an arc. So how does that look? It moves and moves like this. So now when you're swinging up on the ball, it's more straight on your target line where you want it to be, as opposed to over here it makes a sharp left, and your club doesn't have enough time, and your club's actually coming down and up into the shot. So you have to change the way you approach hitting your driver and mentality as opposed to, so you want to do a right tilt and even back. So right tilt and then move the shoulder back a little bit. And then you got to think, and now what you're doing is you're adjusting your swing so that it's on an angle like this. So instead of straight for the iron, it's on an angle like this. So it's not just back, but it's back and right. And then you can just hold that position and then turn on the axis. Turn on the axis around that axis where you got a new circle where the center is over here, and then you can swing up on it right there. And the force of the swing is not down at the ball, but it's here, down, and then up through the ball, as opposed to down at the ball like that with the iron. And if you hit a driver like that, the club, see, if you hit a driver like that, if you move your shoulders too fast, because everybody likes to hit their ball really hard with the driver, right? Everybody likes to hit their ball. If you're hitting it, if you're setting up like an iron and you want to get on top of it, well, what happens is the club's heavier, the club's longer, and it needs more time to get down. So most of the time, in most cases, when you duck hook it or slice, you move your shoulders out too fast, and see how the club gets above the plane? It gets here, right? It gets there instead of, see now, if you had tilted, tilt and tilt, you could take the same swing and your club is already there. You can take the same swing. See, if you have an iron swing and you want to get on top of the ball, the club's heavy, the club starts going out in front of the ball, in front of you right here, and then you have no choice but to dump it, dump angles, stop your rotation, or if you do keep rotating, you're going to come on top of it, have a really outside-in path, and you're in trouble, right? So here, now if you had tilted, right, like right tilt and then back tilt, you'd be over here, loaded on your right side, and you could come on from the inside, where the club is not in front yet before it gets to the hitting area. Because it's a long club, it has to come on the inside, and it has to go down and then up into the shot. So that's how you hit your driver as opposed to your iron. Your iron, on the other hand, very level. You can come down on top of it and go straight through it like this. But with the driver, back, tilt, you want to be here, down behind you here, going into it from the inside. It's just how you need to hit the driver in comparison. That is if you want to hit up on the ball and you want to stop duck hooking it when you're hitting it like an iron. It's related to your thinking on how the swing arc works, where the swing path is, or your hand path or swing path, whichever one you want to ask. So here's an iron, here's a driver. It's not just, just basically aim right, basically. Because you want this path right here going straight to the target. If it's over here, see, when you're hitting down on it, it's straight to the target. But when you're hitting up on it, it goes left. But it's not just the path problem, it's the body problem. The body problem is if you've over rotated here before without your arms going here, the right arm's going to start closing that club face. Or if you hold it, it's going to keep it open. So multifaceted. But first, what you need to do, right tilt, back, and then swing on the inside, and change the way you think about how the swing arc works. So remember, you're going to move the swing arc back, that's from your tilt, and then to the right, back and to the right. Okay guys, hopefully you can hit your driver better today and stop duck hooking it and stop slicing it.